For me, winter used to be a slow time for wildlife photography. I'd go weeks at a time without photographing anything. But now, that's all changed. The more I learn about wildlife, the more my eyes are opened to the amazing species all around me. Now, each winter, I look forward to photographing a number of different species. Bighorn sheep, ducks, foxes, and mountain goats, just to name a few. But there's another animal I look forward to photographing this time of year. One you may not expect. Hey everyone, good morning. I'm out along this river looking for some dippers to photograph. For the past 2 winters now, I've come out to photograph American dippers, and they are so much fun to photograph. They're such exciting birds to photograph for a number of different reasons, but instead of me telling you why, let me show you why. This has been so much fun. These dippers are just incredible. You know, this water out here is so frigid. It just gets so cold out here. And here these dippers are just repeatedly diving into the water, wading around in the water, poking around, looking for insect larvae and fish eggs to eat. And the cold water just doesn't even seem to bother them at all. These birds are just amazing. You know, a couple years ago I was photographing these guys, and one of them was just wading through the water, and he hopped up on a rock and he stood there for a little bit, and it was so cold that the water that was just kind of dripping down from him, it started turning to ice on his legs. And it's more pictures like that that I'm really hoping to get this morning to just add a little something to these images that I'm taking. So that's kind of what I'm keeping my eye out for as I photograph these guys. Fingers crossed. They are crossed here in my mittens, you can't tell, but that's what I'm really hoping to photograph this morning. I just saw mink. I didn't get any pictures of it. I couldn't even tell what it was at first. It ducked behind some branches, but that was really cool. There's just so much awesome wildlife out here. It's just so much fun to see. So I was getting pictures of those dippers. There he goes. the minks running along. So much fun to see. I've never seen one in the snow before. I wish I could have gotten a picture of that. Anyways, I was getting some pictures of those dippers. I was photographing a dipper, and another one came in and chased it off. They both flew off. And so I was just sitting here hoping that they'd come back. They still haven't come back. When I noticed some movement down further along the river's edge. So I look over and there were some song sparrows kind of jumping around from rock to rock looking for stuff to eat. So I was getting some pictures of them. And then I noticed another bird come in, and I believe it's a hermit thrush. But y'all know how bad I am with my bird identification, so please correct me if I'm wrong. But I believe it was a hermit thrush. And so I got some pictures of that guy, and that was just a lot of fun. And when I looked at the picture, I zoomed in a little bit, and I noticed that there was some ice starting to form on its legs, which, you know, that's really what I was hoping for with the dippers, just to add a little bit of something to the pictures. And so, you know, I didn't get that with the dippers this morning, not yet at least, but I was able to get some on that little thrush. So I'm just super thrilled with that. Again, it just adds a little bit something more to a fairly simple image. So I'm just really happy with that. But there's just so much wildlife out here. I might go see if I can go find that mink again, because that would be awesome to photograph. I barely noticed him before. I think he was just curious as I was moving along. So maybe I'll go see if I can find him. I do hear some dippers a little bit further down the river. So I'm going to make my way down and see what we can find. Oh, what a fun morning out here with these dippers. There's been multiple dippers out here this morning. I counted 4 at once. That was the most that I counted. And it's interesting because they all had their like preferred stretch of river that they were hanging out on, and their own methods of looking for food. One of them was just kind of wading along the water looking for food. One of them was hopping from rock to rock looking for food. And then one of them would occasionally dive in and pull something out. It was just so much fun to watch them. One dipper finally came in and chased all the others off, and I haven't seen him since. So I'm gonna keep making my way along the river to see what else I can find. You know, this time of year is one of my favorite times of year to find wildlife to photograph. There's plenty out there if you just put the time into it and look just everywhere you can. You'll find the wildlife to photograph. You know, this morning has just been amazing with the dippers, with the sparrows, that little thrush, and the quick glimpse of that mink. It was just amazing. I love seeing those guys. And it just made me want to come out here more to look for more minks and other animals, whatever I can find to photograph. You know, seeing that mink reminded me of some time that I spent with a family of minks earlier this year, and a lone mink as I watched him pull fish out of the river. It was just amazing. If you haven't seen those videos already, go check them out. I'll put a link to them in the description below. Such a fun series of encounters with those beautiful, beautiful animals. So go check them out if you haven't already, or even if you have, go check them out again, because they're just fun animals. But like I mentioned, I'm gonna keep making my way along the river, see what else I can find. It's a beautiful morning to be out here. I'm just loving it. So I'm gonna keep making my way along, see what else I can find. Hopefully be able to photograph some more fun animals. But I wanted to thank you guys for following along. I hope you've enjoyed this morning out with these dippers and the other wildlife. I certainly have. It has been so much fun. I thank you guys for following along. I hope you're having fun out there in your own adventures. Thanks again, and we'll see you next week. Such a beautiful morning.